So what's for breakfast today?
We are doing sausage links, coffee because it's required, and some fresh eggs from my grandpa's house, who my grandpa and my aunt raised chickens, which is kind of neat to see because different chickens lay different colored eggs. So we have a green one, a lighter pink, and then the traditional brown egg you see. And
There we go.
they are so fresh and yummy. It's a huge difference than the normal eggs you get in the store.
Okay guys, so today is day 3. It is Friday, 5th of July, and we are going to lay down some serious miles today if we're going to make our goal towards Sunday of completing the entire Washington State Backcountry Discovery Route. So our goal for today is to end up in Chelan, and right now we're about in the middle of section 2 on Bethel Ridge for where we've landed so far, but the goal is to push out close to a couple hundred miles in total mileage for the day to make it to Chelan, and then that way we're just eating little chunks or big chunks at a time to make it to Sunday. So currently we are on Bethel Ridge, which is right here, and Ellensburg, like I had mentioned earlier, is just over here. So we're in the middle of section 2, and our goal is to wind all the way up here through the Cascade Spine and land here at the end of section 4, start of section 5 in Chelan. So we're not exactly sure where camp will be, but hopefully somewhere in this area, and then that way we can just eat a little bit more of the mileage here on Saturday, and then hopefully Canadian border by Sunday. So I think we can do it. We're making good time, but we obviously want to enjoy the sights too. So far we're looking pretty good. As we continued our journey, we slowly worked through all the windy, bumpy, and gravel roads towards Ellensburg. It was stunning to witness how drastic the scenery had changed as we drove out of the forest and into the plains of central Washington. What seemed like a short distance on the map ended up taking more time than initially planned, simply due to the road conditions, views, and unexpected sights along the trail. Always good to close things up behind you when you're done. So guys, it's going on about 4 o'clock and we're still not in Ellensburg yet. Or 3 o'clock, as Karina just corrected me. But we may or may not make her go. I'm not sure. We'll see how aggressive we'll be going into the night. But in any measure, we're still pushing. On our way to Ellensburg, we're cutting through all these kind of canyon area and these forest roads. And we actually came across something a little sketchy here. Check this out. There is a car that looks like it took a road a little too fast and smacked something and tumbled all the way down the hill. So that looks a little scary, so it just kind of goes to remind yourself to always check your speeds when you're on these areas, because you never know what could happen out here. So we looked, and this is obviously has been here for quite some time. There's no one in it or around it. So I don't think obviously anyone needs any help of any kind, because it definitely looks like it's been sitting here. But pretty crazy stuff just to see here on the side of the road. So guys, we're in Ellensburg and it is 88 degrees over here and it is hot. So we're cooling off with a really nice treat from Cafe d'Arte at Winger's, I think, ice cream house or whatever. But it's really good. Got a smoothie. We're cooling down. And we're going to continue working our way on the BDR here, but we're just going to kind of just cool off a little bit because it was pretty hot coming down the trail, and we just want to take it easy, let the truck rest actually before we get on our next leg. But other than that, we'll just see where the road takes us. After cooling off with our tasty treats and stretching our legs at a nearby park, we hopped back onto the trail and made way for the roads ahead. Though this particular path gained in elevation quickly, of which provided quite the lookout once on top. Hey guys, so progress reports so far. We're north of Ellensburg and we're coming through Table Mountain, and I just wanted to do another quick update for you real quick because of the views that we have. If you kind of check out behind me, this beautiful, just wide open area. It's just gorgeous. So we definitely bookmarked this one as a possible campsite to come back to. But one thing that really stood out to me about this area was obviously, as you can see behind me, the forest fire. We were actually able to have a little bit of service up here and did a quick Google search on it. Back in 2012, 42,000 acres were burned from this fire on Table Mountain. It wasn't 100% clear as far as what the cause was. Maybe thunder, lightning strike, or possible fire from people or anything like that. But it's definitely a unique drive coming through here. So just wanted to kind of showcase that to you. That just to reiterate, anytime that there's burn bans, really pay attention to that and be mindful of it, because stuff like this could easily happen. So, but in any measure, we're gonna go ahead and keep pushing on here, see how far we can make it tonight, and find a camp spot. So, new update. I know you guys love the update so far. It's going on 11 o'clock at night. We're just outside of Kashmir, and much like Wednesday night, I think it was Wednesday night, we're doing a late night drive. So I think we bit off a little bit more than we could chew on this morning's goal of trying to make it to Lake Chelan. We got slowed down by the views, a few technicalities on the trail, and just wanting to actually enjoy this trip. So rather than just blasting through and getting the miles, we wanted to actually truly experience it. So we're a little bit behind schedule, but it's all good because we're gonna push it probably till, I would say, another half hour. And if there's an open spot on the road, we're gonna call it good, with a plan to wake up pretty early in the morning to bite off another big piece to hopefully make our goal. But other than that, we're doing some pretty sketchy night driving. It's awesome. Just nice and slow, but we're having a blast and getting a little tired. So we'll see you guys in the morning. As the early morning sun shined into our tent, we awoke to beautiful surrounding landscapes. Though not too far down the road, we came across our first neighbor on the trail. He was curious of our presence as I stood upwind from him, though after 4 days of being on the trail, our scent inevitably spooked him off.
Patron saint of the season, yeah, you were built for mid-July. You got the glow of the sunset, you got the rush of the ocean waves, burning high like it's wanted, you make it feel like summer again.
So if you can see it way down there, that's Chelan. That was our goal yesterday. But now we're getting to it at about 10:30 the following day, so we're getting closer.
You got the glow of the sunset, you got the rush of the ocean waves, you're burning high like it's wanted, you make it feel like summer again.
So there's Chelan, we made it, and there's way too many people. We had every intention to make lunch near the lake there, and everyone had the exact same idea, obviously with the holiday weekend, of coming out here. So for us, way too overpopulated for what our adventure is going to be this weekend, and probably would deviate us too far off our schedule. So we saw it from the vehicle and are passing on. So needless to say, welcome to day 4 of our adventure. We finally made it to Lake Chelan, and it's beautiful. It definitely is beautiful. Lots to probably do out here, but unfortunately our time commitment on getting to a certain destination by the end of the weekend is pretty hard. So we're pushing through. We're probably gonna do lunch on the trail north of Chelan and continue on from there, but it's definitely a beautiful area, and we'll probably be back, just not on a holiday weekend. So guys, we just passed Conquest, Washington. It's way up north here. We're pretty darn close to the Canadian border, which is awesome. We got a lot done today, but we just wanted to show you real quick while we're punching through the trail. It's the, I believe, 7th of July, right babe? 7th of July? Check her phone real quick. The 6th of July, a little too early. 6th of July. And we are currently driving through unmelted snow on the trail, which is pretty insane. I can't even believe that we're doing that right now. It's pretty cool. I could look on Gaia to see exactly where our elevation is, but in any manner, it's still pretty crazy because that's snow on the ground. I would say, oh, there it is, 5,900 feet. So pretty darn cool, but it's raining. We're gonna punch through a little bit more of the trail, see how much we can get with the remaining daylight, and get some dinner made, and probably call it a night, and then punch out the rest early morning. So I think we're gonna do this. So let's see what happens tomorrow. While making our way to camp, the sun started to lower on the horizon, creating one of the most gorgeous sunsets we've seen in a long time. We couldn't help ourselves to take a few moments to stop and witness the intense orange glow. This is what it's all about. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to day 5 of our adventure on the Washington State Backcountry Discovery Route. It's Sunday, and we found a campsite just outside of Loomis here in northern Washington, and we're very close to the border. We pushed extremely hard last night, going almost into midnight. I think we covered, almost 200 miles on various off-road trails, highway, just various gravel forest roads. So we covered some serious ground yesterday, made up for not achieving Chelan the days prior. But we're doing great. This morning we're working a little bit slower because of how far we pushed last night, and we were actually fortunate enough to find a nice little pull-off here for camping. And as you can see behind me, we woke up to some pretty spectacular views. So needless to say, we're going to soak all this up, get some breakfast made, and start working our way to the border. So what did we just complete?
The Washington State Backcountry Discovery Route. How many miles was it?
592 miles.
5 days.
4.5, 5 days, but we did it.
Oh.
It's been an incredible journey, and I'm so glad we were able to get this accomplished together.
It was fun.
So that's it, guys. It's been an incredible journey so far. We've driven over so many different types of terrain, from highway to gravel to rugged off-road. It's been a really great trip as far as even challenging. It gave myself some good opportunity to get behind the wheel in new terrain. It gave Karina a tremendous learning curve as far as letting her do a lot of the driving. It helps me with the filming aspect, so team effort there. But the plan is to essentially go through Osoyoos here in Canada, and then come down Highway 97 back into Washington, and then call it a day. But overall, this trip has been spectacular. I highly suggest, if any of you who are wanting to push their limit on the camping and true off-road driving and self-sufficiency as far as doing this type of travel, to just plan it out and do it. All the resources are there. You just have to mark it on your calendar and make it happen. So with that, we're gonna make our journey home. I wish each and every one of you to challenge yourself in new ways to get out there and explore. But in any measure, we'll see you next time. Take care.